Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Noel Tate from Trapped in a World, the Howard the Duck podcast. And you're listening to Know Her is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast.
Hi, Jessica.
Who the hell are you?
The woman who's going to save your life.
Welcome back, Spider Babies, to Know Her is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast. We're your hosts, Seren and Rey. And in today's episode, we talk about Spider-Woman Origin, number 5.
Oh, yes, that was a wrong one. Yes, Spider-Woman Origin, number 5. Hello, Spider Babies. Hello, Seren. Back, fresh, trying something new. Seren, happy New Year, 2023.
Oh, yeah, we're in 2023. Happy New Year, right? We haven't talked since, like, the beginning of December. And,
I know,
yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while, but we are trying something new. So, listeners, you might have heard a little bit of discombobulation. We are trying a live stream on YouTube. So, there are some visuals that go with it. I just put up the wrong issue for discussion. But Seren, yeah, this is exciting. It was something that we kind of discussed towards the end of last year. I guess just kind of broadening the reach of potentially finding other spider babies out there.
Yeah. Just widen the audience a little. If I wasn't afraid of cameras, what you would have seen when I said Spider-Woman Origin number 5 is that I actually held up 10 fingers. So
Did you?
I did.
Well, that's good. That's good then. Good then that we've got our fantastic logo in place to cover those things.
Yes. Mainly because I don't have a webcam.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No worries. But what have you been up to, Seren? I mean, since last, like, how was the break? How was New Year's?
New Year's was nice and relaxing.
Nice.
Christmas was nice and relaxing. It got really freaking cold here. I don't know if anyone heard about that, but the U.S. got it was cold.
Oh, we heard people died and dying in their cars. It was terrible.
Yeah. It got cold here where I was in the U.S., but I was not. Like, I'm in where I live, we're equipped for cold.
Okay.
So.
But a lot of shoveling snow and all that. I mean, that would.
No, I haven't had any snow yet. Actually, it just got really cold and frozen. We haven't had any snow yet. It just got cold for those couple weeks, and now it's back to relatively mild for what is normal here.
Nice. That's okay.
But no, where I live, it just got cold and frozen. It did not get snowy. Thank goodness. The rain happened before it got cold, so we missed all the snow.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a polar opposite here. I mean, it's been quite hot. Got the kiddie pool out for the backyard. Put the hose on, the sprinklers. Yeah.
You have Christmas picnics, not like.
Sorry, what was that?
You have Christmas picnics outside and stuff because it's so warm down there. It's summer for you, right? You're in the middle of summer. Yeah, because polar opposites.
Exactly. Yeah, no, we got seafood. I mean, we typically have like seafood and stuff for Christmas, so I guess it's not your typical Christmas, but it was fun as well. Yeah, spent time with the family. Went down to Melbourne, so interstate, down south to where my sister lives and my niece. So, did that, and then it was actually quite busy, Seren. And then on the way back up, we had guests over at our place. So Eve's cousin from the Netherlands and their little baby daughter. So, I mean, that was a lot of fun to spend New Year's with them. But so excited to come back and chat Jessica Drew. It's been a while, Seren, but there has been a fair bit of news, I understand.
Yeah, so after we recorded the last time, like 3 days later, we got our first Into the Spider-Verse trailer, and Jess is in it.
Yes.
And she looks fabulous, very heavily inspired by the Dennis Hopeless, Javier Rodriguez run. So, her costume that this is designed on, for that series was designed by Christopher Anka, who's actually on the art design for this movie. So it absolutely looks like that he was like, I'm drawing my girl and she's getting my motorcycle costume. And it looks like this Jessica really is going to be pregnant. So once again, heavily inspired by that series. Dennis Hallam looked very excited about it on the internet, so that was excellent. She is voiced by Issa Rae, who is a phenomenal actress. She's been in a couple of HBO series. I cannot remember them off the top of my head. Insecure. She was in Insecure. It was one of her shows. Apparently, it was very good. I have never seen it. But lots of hope.
Oh, sorry, Seren, your microphone's a little bit... Something's happened there.
Now.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yep.
Okay. I had to move closer to my mic.
So Issa Rae, I've only, to be honest, I've only watched it, I think, once when it came out. I don't like scrutinizing trailers and stuff. I mean, everyone can do what they want. It's just that I want to be really kind of surprised when it comes out. Do we hear much of Issa Rae, like Jessica?
We don't hear her. No, we just see her a few times in the trailer.
Yeah.
Apparently, going by what the Across the Spider-Verse Twitter account has posted, she is one of the main spiders in the movie.
Hell yeah.
So, and she is particularly mentoring Gwen, which she does in the comics. So
cool.
Her role is to mentor Gwen there. So, just a quote from Entertainment Weekly for anyone who wants to. They did a whole article about the movie, but it says that Miles links up with new allies like Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman, Insecure's Issa Rae voices Jessica, a motorcycle riding phenomenon who helps mentor Gwen. And then Michael Lord goes in to say a lot of work has gone into making that character look great. If you've ever been around Issa, she's such a dynamo of talent and grace, so you just want to make sure the character looks as cool as she is. So, yeah, I mean, Jessica, we all know, as longtime fans, is freaking cool, so...
Yeah, no, I mean, and you put in the prompt sheet a really cool still or photo, it's not a photo, a picture of Spider-Woman. I might add that in, hopefully a little mental note here, Ray. I might add that into the episode. So Spider Babies can see it as well if they've not. I'm sure everyone, is chuffed to the bits about Spider-Woman being shown in Into the Spider-Verse. So yeah, just in case you haven't, it will be in there as well.
Yep. So when that movie drops, you can probably expect an episode of me and Ray reviewing it.
Oh, excellent. We should do can we do, Seren, like a discussion of it, and maybe can we do like a commentary? Like, would you be up for an audio commentary?
Well, if it's in the theaters, we wouldn't be able to do it right away.
No. I mean, when it eventually comes to kind of streaming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I sure as hell would love to do that.
That'd be great.
That'd be fun. The only thing that has disappointed me of the footage, which is very little footage, mind you, that we have seen of Spider-Woman, is that it looks as if they gave her webs and took away her venom blasts. And I'm annoyed by that. Because Jessica is the original venom blasting spider, and therefore that shit needs to be addressed in any way, shape, or form. And I am very upset that they took it away from her. That is my biggest peeve that I have seen And I would really like to know what Issa Rae's opinion of that is, because that's like Jessica's main feature. And one of the things they did for her to make her stand out from Peter Parker way back in the day. And yeah, I just want to know.
It would be interesting as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same like you as well. But I do kind of justify it in my head. In that, this is the Jessica Drew of this universe, and it's a small. Way to convince myself. It's a small token way to convince it. But yeah, hey, look, she's gonna be great in it. And as you say, like if she's one of the main characters, that's great. We'll get more screen time of her. Hopefully, if they do a third one, maybe she'll jump on that as well. We need more traction for Jessica Drew.
This I think is gonna give it for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because generally
gonna do it because Jess is badass, and everyone's gonna see that Jess is badass, and they're gonna learn about Jess, and then they're gonna come to our podcast. So hey guys, if you're new here and you're just getting to this episode and you started from the first one, hi, welcome to our podcast.
Welcome everybody. Yeah, no, true. Generally the way it is as well is that if a character does well on screen, the comics follow suit, really. I mean, whether or not, it's a whole separate discussion on whether or not that should be the case, but the reality is that's what's happened. So if Jessica does gain traction on screen, then we definitely will see at least a mini or some sort of series for Jessica.
We're definitely getting an action figure. I'm sure we're getting an action figure.
Oh, no, 100%. And a Funko. So you got Funko and an action figure right there, then and there. So I think we covered, or I think it was rumor or something. Someone did show in some country a picture of the Jess Hasbro Legends figure. I don't know if it's been a prototype, so it is on the cards. I mean, it's for me,
it looks really good. If that was legit, that she looks fucking fantastic. So I'll definitely be getting that as soon as the pre-order goes up. It's mine.
Can you imagine if they have the motorcycle as well? Like, I know you've got a motorcycle already.
I do have a motorcycle. I stole it from Black Widow action figure. So literally, I got that. They came out with that Jessica Drew motorcycle action figure, right? With the motorcycle and the Chris Anka, outfit. Yep. And I was like, she doesn't have a fucking motorcycle, and she's a fucking motorcycle. And then at the same time, they released the Black Widow, who came with a motorcycle. And I went, I am buying that Black Widow just so I can have the motorcycle. And I will tell you that Jessica Drew looks 10 times more badass on that motorcycle than Black Widow does, and that's saying something because Black Widow's badass. So
is Black Widow known to have a motorcycle as well? I mean,
definitely since the movie started, yes, because they
the movie.
Movies, but
the
motorcycle, I feel like it's definitely, or was first Jessica's thing.
That's what I think.
Nat's thing.
I would associate a motorbike with Jess way more than say Black Widow. But anyway, I'm a big Black Widow fan as well. I think she's awesome.
The Kelly Thompson series, awesome.
Yes, it is. It is very good. Also, I mean, a bit of news, Seren, before I forget, because, just my mind is spinning with all this kind of Spider-Woman stuff. You received your Marvel's Masterworks thing?
I did.
Yeah.
I had pre-ordered it from my local comic shop, and he sent me a direct message the other day over Facebook, and I was like, hey, is this yours? And I went, yep. That's mine, because I know he has one other hardcore Jess fan that goes to that shop, but that was definitely me, because I definitely pre-ordered it the second it was announced. I was like, yo, I need this.
That is awesome. Yeah, so I mean, it's available now. It's out in the wilderness. I'm sure Spider Babies, if you haven't snapped it up already, the likes of Carlos, Rustin, Jess. Sure.
I didn't check to see if that means it's on Marvel Unlimited now, because those issues were missing from Marvel Unlimited, I do believe. Now I'm looking. I'm literally looking as we talk, guys.
Okay, well, as Seren's doing that, I will vamp for a little bit of time. And just before I forget as well, because I haven't put it in the prom sheet, I have been in touch with those winners. We had a competition last year to win a badge, just to let you know. So it's any day now. I saw the proofs. It's in the mail. They're coming my way. Once I get them, I will be posting them out. So big congratulations again to Jess and Rustin. And Seren, made one for yourself as well. So look, it's nothing. It's nothing kind of like design. It's the logo, right? So it's a logo, but it's a big 70 centimeter. I don't know what that is in inches. I'm sorry, Seren, but it's pretty big. A big badge. So I thought I might as well go, if you're going to make a badge, I might as well make it bigger. So, a big badge, put it on your bag, put it on your jacket, put it, I don't know, next to your
I'll
bedside.
definitely put it somewhere. Okay, so I do believe on Marvel Unlimited, it went up to issue number 25, then skipped some issues, had issue number 32, and then went to like issue number 45. So now on Marvel Unlimited, is Spider-Woman issues number 1 through 38, and then there's nothing again until issue 45. Okay. So we've got
great
the majority of the series now.
Yes.
On Marvel Unlimited. So
awesome.
That is rad. Because we also didn't have it was really hodgepodge on there for a while. So now all of it from 1 to 38 is all on Marvel Unlimited.
That's fantastic. 1 to 38 from memory. It's got all the great Marv Wolfman, Mark Grunwald issues. I think it goes up to 38.
That has is that Claremont yet? No, not yet.
No. Michael Fleischer. Is in there.
So.
I'm not sure. Yeah, Claremont and Nocenti were towards the end, so maybe not yet. But
Nocenti started at 45.
45, yeah. So she's the last 5 or 6 issues for that run.
And 38 is Chris Claremont.
So, okay. Well, you get some of the Claremont stuff. Awesome.
Yep, we're getting some of the Claremont stuff.
And another reason to get Marvel Unlimited again. Look, we're not sponsored by Marvel in any way, but go pick it up if you want to read just digitally. Because she's getting more and more stuff, and all the later runs. Is that correct, Seren?
All the later runs, all the modern runs are on there.
They're all on there. So. Getting there for Sarah.
So before we jump into discussion, Ray, you have some news to share.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I was thinking about this. Yes, so there was a little bit of confusion. I'm sorry, I got a little excited, and understandably, I guess. So I did post up something, Seren, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and it was cryptic saying, there's such a thing as a Spider Baby coming in July 2023. People are saying, "Oh, is that like an omnibus? Is something available? In hardcover?" No.
Or Seren, are you having a kid? No.
Yes. Sorry, sorry, Seren, if I put that put you in that position.
No.
No. But yes, but no.
I only had one person get me on the side about that, and it's fine. No, it's good.
Our little family are expecting our second one. So, little Finn, we'll have a little girl. So we know the gender. So I'm pushing for Jessica as the name, just to between you and me.
Are you really?
I'm going to be pushing a lot of comic book, female names, women's. I don't know, because Eve will say, look, just throw us some names. And look, at the end of the day, because I'm thinking, poor Eve has to put her body through so much, and she has to carry this child for 9 months. So she'll have the end say. I'm totally happy with that. But it doesn't stop me from giving her a list. So I was thinking, you got to help me out as well, Seren. I was thinking, of course, Jessica. I did pick Elsa, because I love Elsa Bloodstone, but people might think of Frozen. That's any problem.
That's okay. No, that's all right. Because let them think Frozen, because then your daughter can be like, no, I'm named after Elsa Bloodstone, and she's her. And then all the kids will think she's so cool. Not that Elsa from Frozen isn't cool, but
Yeah, true.
I'm just saying. Not that Jessica also isn't a cool name, but
I think Jessica is a really cool name, actually.
It's a great name. And Jessica's a great nickname.
Yeah, I mean, there are other things like Natasha and Carol. Just immediately Aurora. That would be cool. But I don't know. I don't know if you have any other suggestions.
You could go with Greer, like Tigra.
Yeah, I was
Your
thinking
Moon Knight.
Yeah, I was going
That's
Marlene.
very. You don't see a lot of Greer. That's a really good like. Not as quite
Greer.
as common as Elsa or Jessica.
Felicia. I can do Felicia.
Felicia. Nah.
Yeah, I know some of the names. I mean, as much as I love the characters, some of the names I'm not really taken with, and you know, but yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're trying to name her like Medusa or something. Not that I don't love Medusa of the.
Oh, yeah, Medusa. Yeah. Crystal.
Hey, actually, Crystal is a popular name, and actually, Crystal or Crystalia, which is different. It's actually Crystal's real name, but they all call her Crystal. But that's actually very pretty, I think. Crystalia.
Yeah, Crystal's actually. Yeah.
Crystal is very pretty. I know it was really popular in like the 80s. I went to school with a lot of crystals, but
oh really? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Cersei.
That'll probably be popular from Game of Thrones.
Oh God, yeah. No, that have kind of impressions that she's like her from. No, anyway.
What about like
Jennifer from She-Hulk?
Yeah, that's Jennifer, and it's also a really popular name.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? Who is
Pepper?
I love that name.
Pepper's
sorry.
Pretty cool.
I do like that. I'm sorry. I think that's cute. It's pretty, and it's better than like I mean, people name their kids Apple and Kiwi. So
yeah, well, I'm looking at Gwyneth Paltrow there. Didn't she name one of her children Apple?
Yeah. Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Name. Let me think. Hold on. No, now you've got me on names. I do. That's not they, but they would equivalent again. Elsa to Elsa, but Cersei to Cersei. Game of Thrones.
I could chuck in Carla, Seren.
You could. Carla's an excellent name with a K.
Yeah, with a K. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looking at you, Carla. Carla.
Yeah. Carla Ann. Then you have Carla and Ann Nocenti, and then boom.
Oh yeah, Carla Ann. Yeah. Boom. That's a double hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? Who else do we have? Let's see. You said Carol.
How about the X people then?
Oh, I don't know much about X-Men. You could do Rogue's Anna Marie, right?
Oh, Anna Marie. Betty. Braddock. No. Kitty. Not really. Jubilee.
Well, Kitty is short for Catherine. So.
Oh yeah. That's true.
I don't know what Jubilee is. I like that too.
Jubilee's actually pretty cool, but you know.
Yeah. I don't know. You could do Lunella.
Lunella.
That's Moon Girl from the Inhumans.
Moon. I like it.
Or Luna, because
Luna.
Crystal.
Actually,
Crystal and Quicksilver's daughter.
I will say that Eve actually brought that up. You know, no coercing from me. She said, I kind of like the name Luna. And I said, yeah, I'll be all for that.
and then you could secretly know to yourself that Luna is the name of Crystal and Quicksilver's daughter, and she's an empath, and she's very powerful.
Oh.
She's really creepy, actually. Like, there's some shit going down with Lunella Maximoff, or Luna, rather not Lunella. Luna Maximoff. So I'm just saying.
Yeah,
there's
I'm only
a story to be told, and that's the character Crystal herself. But I'm a big Inhumans fan. Sorry, X-Men fans, I like the Inhumans more.
I'm gonna get more into the Inhumans. Actually, I want to read.
They are so fascinating. They are. It's like Game of Thrones in space, but better. It is so good. I love them. Especially Al Ewing's run. Oh, so good. And James Asmus.
James Asmus is I've read the beginning of that.
His crystal, he writes such a good crystal. Anyway,
the art was brilliant in that as well.
That was Stefano Caselli. I love his artwork. Oh my god. Yeah. So anyway, I'm a big Inhumans fan. Let's see what other names you could do. Cindy, like for Cindy.
Oh, Cindy Moon. Oh yeah, let's the Spider people. Who's that? Gwen.
You got Gwen. You got Cindy Julia. Julia's a beautiful name, and it's very popular.
Julia.
Let's see who else. Charlotte. You could do Charlotte. That's also a popular name now.
Oh yeah. And what's her?
Maddie Franklin.
Maddie. Yeah, that's it. I'm thinking. Yeah.
You could.
I'm going to list these all out. Seriously, I'm just going to list it all out. I'll throw it in front of Eve. So, what do you think?
Yep. I think Luna's pretty. Yeah. I really do like that name. What else? I also love the name Jessica, obviously. Jessica's I know a lot of Jessica. I know a lot of Jessicas.
See, I don't think we do. So that's good. Like, because you know how there's also, I mean, you know, it's an honor. You don't want to kind of name, like, we got a good friend who's Julia. So I don't know. It'd be just a bit weird if we call, I don't know, call her.
No, I get
kid
you.
Julia.
I get
Yeah.
you. But Jessica is good. Let's see. I'm
Yep,
trying
we
to
don't know
think.
anyone. Jessica.
I'm trying to think other names. I don't know. I can't think. I mean, you could do, like, if you want to do Catherine, instead of calling her Kitty, you could call her Kate, like Kate Bishop.
Yeah. Oh, Kate. Oh, yeah. Kate Bishop. Yep. Oh, villains. Just call her Enchantress. Morgan.
I love the name Morgan. Hey,
Yeah.
that's a great name.
Actually, that could work for either. For either.
Yeah, Morgan can be a guy. Logan as well could also be a girl or a guy's name. I know a few girls named Logan. Let's see. What other names could you do? Gwen. Well, we already said Gwen, and that you could also
Gwen.
either be Gwen Stacy or Gwen Poole.
Oh yeah, Gwen Poole. So what's Squirrel Girl's name? I can't remember.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a great question. I'm going to Google it right now. Squirrel Girl's real name. Crap. I don't want that. Stop. Squirrel Girl name. I can't remember. I'm so bad. That's a great idea, though. Squirrel Girl.
Because she was like the nanny, wasn't she, to Danielle?
Doreen.
Doreen, yes.
Doreen Green is Squirrel Girl. We do like Squirrel Girl. She's pretty badass.
Sue from Sue Storm.
You could do Wanda.
Oh, Wanda. Oh,
Um,
that's a good one, actually.
What's
Who was it?
Psylocke's real name?
Yeah, that's Betsy or Elizabeth, I think.
No, that's not. Oh, no, not Psylocke. Magic's real name.
Oh, Ileana?
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
pretty.
Yeah.
That's a pretty name.
Yeah, there's many. Actually, I'm thinking of Rain as well. Rahne.
That's pretty.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'm really bad with names.
Well, I will send a list and
Lindsay,
we'll have a list.
like Lindsay.
Oh, Lindsay. Oh, yeah,
McCabe.
of course. Yeah, Lindsay. What was it? Octavia.
Octavia. I had a Cabbage Patch doll back in the day. Her name was Octavia. They all came with names.
Oh wow, it's
She was
not the most common name.
Yeah, her name was. I mean, Cabbage Patch has some unique names for their Cabbage Patch kids.
They do.
So yeah, her name was Octavia. She was one of the Crimp and Curl ones. That's how old I am, guys. I don't know. There's so many. I always like to name Molly. I don't know if there's actually
Molly's. Oh, is that from the Runaways? You're thinking?
Oh, maybe. I knew there was someone in Marvel named Molly, and I just always like the name Molly.
Yeah, Molly is actually I like Molly a lot better than Polly, and apologies for any Pollys listening.
No, Molly's a great name.
Yeah.
Molly's fantastic. Short for Margaret, I think. Mallory? Margaret?
Oh, is it?
One of the, I don't know. One or the other. I like the name Mallory, too.
Abigail.
Or-
Anyway, sorry.
Abigail is always a good name. You never
So
go wrong with
Abby.
Abigail. You never
Yeah.
go wrong with Abby. It's a great name.
And dye her hair green.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone listening, to any of our
anyway.
listeners, you got some
Sorry.
baby girl names, drop into our Discord and just
Oh,
give
yes.
Ray a list.
Please do.
Because he needs one.
Yes.
I'm gonna just give you a list of like 20 different names, and you'll be like, oh my god, now I have 700 names to pick from, and I
Please
don't
do.
know.
No, absolutely. I'd love to. And then, Eve will say, oh, you have really given it a lot of thought. And I'll be nodding, going, yeah, I have. But no, any names would be great. We'll just throw it out there, and we'll see come July, I guess, what her name will be.
Sometimes it might take a day or two. She might pop out, and you'll be like,
That's true.
we were gonna go with Luna, but maybe she's more Crystal, and then you name her Crystal.
That's true. Or I could do, I shouldn't do what my dad did. Like when my mum, did I tell you this story, Seren?
You did not, so I'm ready for it.
When my mum had me, and she was in the hospital, and obviously she was recovering after she had a C-section as well. Dad whipped in and he filled out the form, and he just so he named, because my mum wanted to call me Christopher apparently, but my dad whipped in there and just, he filled it in, signed it off. There you go.
Oh, that's kind of an asshole move, actually.
So,
But
so
I have heard of women that, they're in that, like, fog after having the baby, and the nurses are like, we need a name. And apparently some woman, this is a story, I don't know how true it is, but the rumor is that some woman, she was a single mother, named her child Pajamas. Because
pajamas,
like pajamas, like you wear to bed.
Oh.
And
Wow.
I feel very sorry for that child because she was very tired. And I sit there, I'm like, you need to allow at least 72 hours for a woman to name her child.
That's right.
When I leave the hospital, please. I know they wouldn't let my sister leave the hospital until she named her daughter. I think it took 4 days. Come on, for them to agree to a name, but they finally agreed on one.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Well.
Anyway, let's get into this.
Oh yes, we should. Look, now this is where the YouTube comes into action, so we can discuss it, Seren, while we have the.
Oh.
That's so that's a textless cover. But anyway, for those that are watching YouTube or who have access, you can follow along, and you can look at the visuals. Any visual comments, please, for podcast listeners as well. It's in reference to what we've got up on screen now as well. But yes,
can I make this a full screen? I can. Excellent. Good. I can see better now.
Yes.
All right. So, to remind you all of what we are talking about today, it is Spider-Woman Origin number 5, released on April 19th, 2006. Oh my God, that was so long ago. Cover date, June 2006. Your writers are Bryans, Michael Bendis, and Reed. Pencilers are the Luna brothers, Jonathan and Joshua. Inker and colorist is Jonathan Luna. Letters are Cory Petit. He seems to be a pretty standard Spider-Woman letterer.
Yeah.
And editors are Tom Brevoort, Molly Lazer, Aubrey Sitterson, and Andy Schmidt.
Oh, there's Molly again. Molly Lazer.
It's a great name.
It's telling me something.
It is.
And Spider Babies, this is available still in floppy format. It's not going for a terribly high price, so it should be easily obtainable. Just check your third-party sellers or even your LCS. Available on Marvel Unlimited, on the Marvel app as well, or Kindle, or Comixology, or whatever it's going by these days. And it had been released in trade paperback and hardcover form, but they're both out of print. However, if you search around, I'm sure you might come across them too. So again, similar to last year, listeners, for those that may be just joining us, what Seren and I will do is we'll go through a synopsis, and then we'll just basically just freestyle it. We'll just talk about things that we liked, aspects of it that maybe tie into, to the greater canon of Jessica, some things that didn't work, all things like that, writing and art as well. And we'll cap it off with a Spider score. And this will round out, Seren, the Origins. It was only 5 issues. I thought from memory it was 6, but it's only 5. So
Yes, it's only 5. It's not that many.
Yeah. So we have here, look, I cobbled together a synopsis here, Seren. Again, I haven't discussed this with you beforehand. Would you like to do the first half? Yeah, I think what you just highlighted.
Yeah, I'm going to make that a different color. I'm going to
Cool.
make it purple, and I'm going to fold it because I'm blind.
Peek behind the curtains there, listeners.
Right? This is how we just throw it together when I get off of work. All right. So thank you, Ray, for writing the synopsis because I did not. So. Jessica confronts her father on board a Hydra base, and overcome with emotion, Jessica is met with a purely scientific and analytical curiosity. Jonathan appears more amazed at the specimen of Jessica Drew rather than the fact that his daughter is alive and well, and the emotion from the years that they hadn't been in contact appears to be alien to him. It is also confirmed from Jonathan that Hydra had conditioned Jess's brain to punish her whenever she defies the organization, and to Jess's disappointment, Jonathan admits that he is happy at Hydra. Jess soon realizes the selfishness of her father and storms out intent on annihilating the base. As the base is destroyed at the hands of Spider-Woman, Madam Hydra and a while Madame Hydra, Viper, and the deformed yet alive General Wyndham call upon the survivors of the Athena project, super soldiers created by Jonathan and based on the DNA of Jessica's crew.
Meanwhile, Viper attempts to get Jonathan to safety. However, it seems that Jonathan finally has some change of heart. And in an act of defiance and surrender, Jonathan refuses to leave. Viper callously shoots him, claiming that 2 more of his kind can easily take his place. Back on the main deck, Spider-Woman attacks all of the Athena Project soldiers, despite some of their protests. However, it proves to be merely a diversion, as the base then explodes into a massive fireball. Spider-Woman survives, and half-conscious, she is taken in by one of the arriving S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarriers. Days later, Nick Fury meets with Jessica and offers an open door at S.H.I.E.L.D., to which she is grateful for the gesture at least. The West Coast looks promising for her, and before she departs from Fury, Jessica offers her services as a private investigator, claiming she's only just getting started. Yeah, so there you go. It was really like a nice climax to the series, Seren. But what did you think? First impressions of the final issue?
You know, considering it's only 5 issues, there's a lot of story in this series, and I think the Bryans, mostly Bendis, who gets credit for this, they get a lot done in this issue. Yep. I really, I know we've had a problem with the art a little bit this whole series, but I really do like how they draw Viper. Like, I feel like, and again, this is where, like, I feel like the characters aren't always that great, but I think Viper's their best person they drew, but there's always, and it's truly, like, this whole series is very cinematic. You could literally take a series, I feel like, and pop it into a movie theater pretty easily. Which I feel like is kind of Bendis' assignment, truth be told. But I think their Viper is the best of everything they've drawn in the series.
Yeah, I'll put her up there with the Alex Maleev, I think, Viper, that we see just fleetingly.
Yeah. Okay.
She was really cool.
Look, Alex Maleev's Viper is really freaking sexy, all right?
Yeah.
She's really badass, and I like her a lot. We will get to Agent of S.W.O.R.D. at some point. But
yes.
Although, with Secret Invasion coming out, we do need to get on that shit, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. We do. I'm just thinking, sorry, Seren, because I saw Jess's, like, our Patreon member, Jess, her comments. I think she had a suggestion. I'll have to look back at Discord. And I think she was edging towards, like, a Secret Invasion. She was suggesting, because this Bendis run is finishing, as for our next modern run, I think she was suggesting, I'm not sure if it was Agent of S.W.O.R.D., but there were some issues, involved.
Well, there's some stuff with Secret Invasion too, and there's also some Avengers stuff before Secret Invasion that we need to get into. So we have a lot to. Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
we should. Thanks for your suggestion, Jess.
Thank
Great
you, Jess.
minds think alike.
But no, you're right. Look, I agree with you as well, though. Viper looks really cool in here as well. She's got like it's slightly less formal, her look. I don't know, and I think that's just from the artwork and maybe the way that her hair is kind of done. I'm looking at the first page, couple of pages now, but she certainly still has that leadership quality around her. She likes to strike poses, and obviously she takes on Jonathan, without an afterthought. So
yeah.
I
do have to go ahead.
Sorry, Sharon. I just want to also mention I loved General Wyndham coming back as a half-burnt, because we saw him from last time we saw him. He was in the apartment or wherever he was when Jess flew the plane into him. With oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. Guy Jake, was it? Jared. Yes. So he's, we all thought he was dead, but he's still alive. He's in a wheelchair, breathing from a huge tube.
Yes. So, Jess. This part's heavy, man. It's really
Yeah, I was
kinda
about to
heavy.
say this was probably my favorite bit of this issue, like this confrontation with her dad. Just that, yeah, it was so heavy, but I think really well done as well. Like, very little. It's just all visuals. Like, again, we're looking at the next page, and it's just cut into 6 panels, and it's just all in the looks of their faces.
It is. It's really good. And then the next page where he hugs her, but she doesn't hug him back. Well, she finally does. But
Yeah.
it's so tense and superficial. Like, it's just, they did some good jobs here on this issue.
That they did, and look, just going back to that hug, you see it there. I was looking at it, going, yeah. I mean, for sure, Jess is not hugging him, but you can even see it from Jonathan. Like, he's not going in for like a full blown hug, if you know what I mean. I think like his lower half of his body is like still distant. So it it just shows he hasn't got that intimacy. It's all about, I guess, what society, what he understands as society, does, like, when you see someone, because he immediately goes into, like, what does he say here? He just goes,
like he's a specimen.
Yeah, like it's, he starts asking questions about have trouble breathing, have you got an irregular menstrual cycle? I mean, stuff that is so analytical, and it's not the time nor place for it. You've seen your daughter. I mean, you're being reunited after so long, all that stuff. But that's the way he's wired, and we find out later that's he's not a good guy.
Well, we find that in the very last panel on this page.
Yeah, that's right. I am Hydra. Yeah, that's. I mean, if that doesn't say it to Jess, then I don't know what will. I mean, I guess in her mind, she has tried to convince herself that her father and mum, they may have worked with Hydra, but they weren't. They're probably coerced into it. Right. When he says I am Hydra, I mean, that's a shoulder slump moment, I think, for Jess.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, that's like a bomb dropping.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, just not good.
Not good. I mean, yeah. And then, so it kind of escalates. I mean, as, she questions him about the Athena project and stuff, and then she brings up, Hydra. And this is where kind of the Miriam kind of comes in, and Jess gets a little bit upset at Jonathan.
A little bit. She's mad. Girl is more than a little upset. She is mad. And this is where you can see, obviously, like, Jess has realized what Hydra is, and her dad still believes in the cause, and his callous disregard that her mother said, he doesn't even face it. He had a child with this woman, and he is not even upset that she's gone.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, this is so weird.
It's just terrible.
It
is, and then he's sitting there like, she made her own decisions, and he's like, well, why are you mad? Well,
yeah.
And then Jess is like, well, if you're going to be this way, she realizes that her mom,
Yeah, well, this is the turning point, like, because she says to him, because he says Jessica, and she says, no, Spider-Woman. Like, this is a point where it's kind of like, okay, kind of like I'm leaving you, Dad, now.
Yeah, you don't have the right to call me by my name.
Yeah. And it's such a powerful thing. Like, she's crying underneath the cowl as well. So he, as always, he knows the completely wrong thing to say to her. And, like, she would have, I mean, I think she's gearing up to, I don't know, really unleash.
Yeah, she was going to blast him, and then all that mind wiping and.
So we get that. We get a reminder again. It's kind of like, I think this last issue is a little bit more of a summary again from Bendis, just to kind of, just in case you've forgotten over the course of the 4 issues, this is where Jess is, and so we get the hallucinations again, and the time. There was actually a really good, the next page, a really good page here, where it's a real summary. It goes from seeing the nanny, to seeing Jonathan, to seeing Mentallo, High Evolutionary, Taskmaster was, I think, a little bit odd to include there.
Yeah, he wasn't like a hallucination. That was the real shit.
He was real, yeah.
But it could be implying here that Jessica's mind is so messed up that she might not realize that that's actually what he looks like.
Yes. Yeah, true as well. And even, yeah, that's a good point.
That could be it. Like, all of this, because if she's thinking these people look like a cow and then a person, then what's real and what's not? So now Jess can't even trust her own memories.
Yes. Yeah, no,
and I think actually Carla had mentioned that in a previous interview too, about all of this jazz. Just about how messed up Jess's mind is.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And these panels pretty much span, I think, one panel each, probably across all the prior issues. So it really is like a summary. So that's just kind of a validation of this stuff, that this brainwashing that's happened to Jessica. And yeah, I mean, she's really, I mean, what she says, so when I try to defy Hydra, my own mind punishes me. Like, she's almost in disbelief. But yeah, Jonathan's trying to justify it, whatever. So she says, I'll be right back.
Spoiler, she doesn't come back.
No, she doesn't. No. Now, I don't know about you. This was a weird thing. I think Bendis does this. We get like small characterizations of like very minor characters. Like, so you get a little bit of personality from
these are all Hydra bobs.
Yeah, these Hydra bobs. But yeah, they die, don't they? I mean...
Oh, yeah. No, they're just... I think the point of the matter is, I think he's kind of hitting home that even the lowest Hydra goon, like, they're Hydra, but they're still, like...
Yeah.
They have their own, like, personal lives and stuff, and then, Jess walks in and blows them all up. I do not think any of them survived that.
No.
If they did, S.H.I.E.L.D. got them. And,
I'm kind of thinking, I don't know how should I take that? I mean, because like I from the old school version of like they're just henchmen, they're your stormtroopers, but Bendis and Reed, they do take time to at least humanize them a little bit, just for a second before they're killed. So I don't know, just an interesting point.
This is a Jessica, like these last few pages where Jess is fighting the Athena mobs, which is disturbing in its own way, and taking this Hydra base out. This is, in my opinion, and how I read it, and anyone correct me if I'm wrong, these last few pages this is a woman who has decided that she is going to go down with the base. So she is not looking to live through this experience. Because really, what does she seem to have to live for at this point? Truth be told, when you look at her life. So this is kind of the tragic part of Jess, and it's something that throughout Bendis' Avengers and even after Secret Invasion, Jess struggles with that. So it's better now than it was. But that's something, and I think we even see a little bit of Jess looking at this in the classic series as well. She's got a little bit of suicide ideation in her viewpoints, and when I kind of, and this is where when people were pissed off about Jess having a baby, I kind of looked at it like, that was a great storyline, but if I really wanted to get angsty and write a fanfic about it, there would be like some weird self-conscious reason why Jess did it, and it's just me being weird and angsty and a fanfic writer. I never wrote that, but I probably should eventually write that fic one day. But like, it's a whole thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like Jess could be a super dark character at any point in time, and we've seen that through Carla's series, and not so much as Dennis Hopeless, although he has some dark moments too. But mostly in the art in the background, it was so good. But like, it's you see that here and where Jess is, and it's something that I feel she kind of struggles with.
Yeah.
Throughout everything.
Oh, yeah, look, absolutely agree. And just with your point about Jess having a baby, I can actually kind of see that logic as well. I mean, like, she's a dark character, of course, but as you're saying, like, in this instance, in this issue, for instance, she has this tendency, like, this was almost like, oh, this is too much. I just don't want to, like, and so I hadn't considered that as well, Seren, but I can totally see it now, because if she's rigged up the place to blow and she's using herself to keep the Athena Project soldiers there, that means that she is expecting to stay there when it blows up.
She's going down with the ship.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's incredibly dark, but there's an incredibly vulnerable component to that, to that kind of, to basically her history. So I can see the logic, and, this whole thing about no family, and as you said, Carla pointed it out, and we've talked about it before, about Jess and her being so kind of ripped apart by family. It kind of makes sense in a way that she does fall pregnant, and she does, whether she realizes or not, she does want to. Like,
it's kind of a big fuck you to Hydra, really. And to me, that's her way of going.
That as well.
Yeah, you tell me that I can't, and that, spiders don't have families. That's something she has carried her entire life. And with her, she doesn't have a family.
Yep.
She doesn't have family. And then I feel like on a subconscious level, it's her big fuck you to Hydra. I do have a family. I have a child. I have Carol. I have Lindsay. I have Roger, or she had Roger. Well, I'm not so sad she's gone now. But the point of the matter is, she went, no, fuck you. I do have a family, and that's what that's her trajectory arc. And you know what?
Exactly.
More power to her. I love it.
I love it as well. Like, just because, I mean, again, time and time again, like the huge strength for Jessica Drew, I think, is this. I mean, she's a kick-ass and everything, but it's her vulnerability, and it's kind of like that tragic kind of component of her, which makes her so kind of like, you just want to love her so
I love
much
her to death, because this is her villain origin story, and she chooses, no, I'm not going to be bad. I'm a good guy. I'm going to help.
But I'm assuming she wants family. Like, she wants to have. I'm assuming she would have wanted to have had like a loving father, and her mother to be there. So she yearns for that sort of stuff, but she can't have it. I mean, as you say, Hydra has stricken that away from her. So, she's trying to and she has family, like, with Carol as well. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just makes her a really great character.
So when you know what her trajectory is, spoilers, guys, for 20 years of comics, but starts off here. This is about the lowest of the low that Jess can get. And again, the Athena project is all these clones of her that she's fighting.
And one of them also said, like, they're all talking.
They all say some really fucked up stuff. I don't even want to talk about what one of them says. It is so messed up. I don't even want to talk about it.
Very messed up. Yeah, but I mean, they kind of look at her, or the majority of them look at her with respect or reverence, because I guess she's so some of them don't even realize why Jess wants to fight them, but they know what they have to do. I like the fact as well, visually, that
they're all
they've
different.
They're all different, but they've got the Spider-Woman costume, but it's in green and yellow, which is Hydra. So I love that little touch there. That works well. But Jessica, she plows through them. Now, as good as a fighter as she is, they're all souped up similar to her. They may not have the same, I don't know how much training they've had. They may not have the same hand-to-hand combat thing, but the sheer numbers of them are probably too much for Jess to handle anyway. And then, as the synopsis says, it cuts to Madam Viper trying to get Jonathan out. And I don't know, what did you think about this, Seren? This, in some ways, is a little bit redemptive of John, or at least he's. I'm not to say that he's completely redeemed, but he at least seems to be conscious now of what he's done.
I'm not sure if that's it. I'm not quite sure that's. I don't know. Maybe a little bit, but I also feel like he doesn't want to leave his work. I feel like if S.H.I.E.L.D. had absconded with his work, he would have tried to go with it. But
you're right. Yeah, I think he must be at least thinking about his interaction with Jessica. I mean, he could still well
so.
be.
Yeah, I mean, he is looking contemplative and a little like he's slumped. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, this was a shocking moment as well. It's just very simple, but at the bottom panel,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just bam, like she kills. So you don't see him, but he's obviously dead. But hang on, but this is comics. But anyway,
You're right.
but a tragic end to a very massively flawed figure. But
Yeah.
someone that is important. I mean, we got to remember as well, someone that is important to Jessica. Up to a point. I mean,
Right.
he was the father.
Right.
So yeah, yeah. So it's just mainly the huge battle.
Right.
And what did you think about this huge kind of explosion, Saren? Because I was a little confused at first, only because I guess it was all done off panel. I mean, Jessica
Right.
must have rigged something or
Oh,
other,
she
right?
did. She
Yeah.
you see her walking in, so she's
Yeah.
got that look on her face. If you go back a few pages, she's got this look on her face. She was going in. She's probably killed every last one of those Hydra dudes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then she rigged something to blow, and part of it blew, and she flew out the top, like that badass exit from the thing. But then whatever else she rigged to blow,
Yeah, right.
she had to do it long enough to make sure that there was nothing left and that S.H.I.E.L.D. could get there in time to pick up any survivors.
Mm-hmm.
So that is
Yeah.
what she did.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I thought she did, but I wasn't too sure. So I went back and had a look, and I thought maybe had Shield arrived. Like, so I was looking at, they look like more like Hydra helicopters
Yeah,
and jets.
those are all Hydra helicopters and jets. Because then, if you look on the next page,
Yeah.
you can see that they are now arriving after the explosion, and she's floating on some refuge. And this is where she says, "Please just leave me here alone." She doesn't. This is somebody who is at the lowest they could get.
Yes, it's almost like disappointed that she actually survived the thing as well. Like, she was hoping that she would go with it, but she's quite resilient. And then I mean, and that's a huge climax, and it cuts a few days later. I love the interaction between Nick Fury and Jessica throughout this whole thing. Look, I haven't read too much Nick Fury. Whenever I see him, he's usually chomping on a cigar, and he's talking in like a really kind of informal kind of jargon and banter. But I think Bendis and Reed use him very well here. He looks and sounds like a director. He's actually a lot more compassionate than what he's typically
Depicted as.
depicted as well. But I think it's great. I mean, this relationship between Fury and Jessica, I hope they bring Fury. I don't think, did Carla didn't have Fury in her run at all.
She did not know.
No, I'd love to have Nick Fury back, and I don't know, try to convince Jessica to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. or something again.
Right.
But yeah, a nice little epilogue here.
Yes, and just now I can't remember either because I need to reread the next issue of the classic series, but I can't recall if S.H.I.E.L.D. gave her the start up for a investigative practice in that series or.
Oh, yeah, I can't.
But it looks like here she's starting it
Yeah.
and giving him a call. So it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, so she says like the West Coast needs some superheroes.
Which is true.
Yeah, but is San Francisco, is that on the west? I'm terrible.
That's on the West Coast. That is California. So San Francisco is in Northern
Okay.
California.
I thought it was okay.
If you've ever seen Full House, that's where it is.
Yes. Okay. I always thought it was north. I just thought it was north. I didn't. Okay. So yeah.
No, it's in California. So
Okay.
well, California is a huge ass state. It takes like I don't know. I've only been to San Diego, so I've never actually driven the length of California, but it takes a long time to get from practically Mexico to Oregon. So I think it's Oregon, yeah. So California is a huge state. This is Northern California, and truly at the time, I think Jess's comic took place. Other than a few X-Men, she was like really the only superhero out west.
Yeah, right.
Maybe Daredevil did a brief stint. I know Spidey stopped by in her series a couple times. And obviously the West Coast Avengers, but I don't know if any of them were actually there during Jessica's run.
Okay.
So she was really like the only superhero out there, like at the time, for the
Yeah.
most part. And Tigra, obviously Tigra was out there. Greer, she was there.
Mm-hmm.
Shroud was there. So Jess kind of made her own little. See, this is where I get a little mad because Jess made all these like little friends. And I'm sitting there going, well, there's your West Coast Avengers. But then the West Coast Avengers on being a different crew.
Yeah.
Who was still badass, but still, it's besides the point.
That would be so cool. Well, I know the Shroud didn't want to.
No.
To join.
And
anyway.
Jess didn't want to be an Avenger either, so it's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so she gives the Drew investigations. We know from history, Seren, that this was I think the original intent from Brian Michael Bendis, but for some reason Marvel balked at Jessica being a private eye, so Brian Michael Bendis invented Jessica Jones instead, and that.
No. So you're getting a little mixed up because Jessica is a private investigator in the original series.
Yeah, yes, she is. Yeah,
she is.
Yeah.
So what happened was when Brian Michael Bendis was writing Jessica Jones, it was originally supposed to be Jessica Drew.
Yeah.
But it was going places Marvel did not like, and they said you might as well make a new character because one, we don't want Jess to go this way, and two, at this point in time, no one even really remembers Jessica Drew, so you might as well make a new character. And they didn't. Yeah. So it was a twofold reason, and Brian Michael Bendis will deny it, but there are interviews printed on the internet that say exactly those things. So they didn't really want him to use Jessica Drew for and that's how Jessica Jones was born, and that is why she is best friends with Carol Danvers. That is why she is also a private investigator. Yeah. So that is why there are so many similarities between the two of them.
Yes. Yeah, no, I just thought that Bendis wanted to use that branch, so to speak, because I know the Michael Fleischer stories are all Jess as private investigator in the original series, but I mean, you know how this origin is a retelling. I thought Bendis, I thought Bendis wanted to use that component of Jess's history, have her as an investigator, but then create a series with her as a PI. But yeah, I mean, whether or not that's the actual story that eventuated as Alias or not,
that is that is. He was going to have Jessica as a private investigator, and it was going to be Jessica Drew, private investigator. They said no, so then he just slapped the name Jones on it, took away all the spider climbing and the venom blasts, and all the immunities, and then made her Jessica Jones. And if you actually look in the second season, I have not watched Jessica Jones season 3, but if you look at season 2, the doctor associated with Jessica Jones in that series is actually from Spider-Woman. So there's a lot of the Spider-Woman origin story elements from the comics that they put in the Jessica Jones TV series. So if you look, you can see it. You go, oh, yep, that's from the classic run. That's from this run. Bendis. There are so many. Yeah, there are some very tiny nods to Spider-Woman in the Jessica Jones series.
Well, I want to read. The TV show. I want to read the original Alias again.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts? I mean, what are your thoughts? Not to dwell on it too much, but what are your thoughts on that, Sarah? And if, say, Marvel gave the green light, because that's a lot of, we're talking about a lot of baggage and stuff that Jessica Drew would have gone through. If that ended up being her story, instead of Jessica Jones, I don't know. Have you ever thought of any thoughts on if Jessica Drew's story continued into Alias as the private investigator?
I wouldn't be upset about it. It's
a fantastic storyline. So yeah.
Well, the two of them are so similar. It's not even funny. Even in the comics now, they're both best friends with Carol. They both have a kid. They both there are so many overlapping things. So because of the TV show, Jessica Jones is now the private investigator for Marvel.
Yeah. Yep.
So now this is another niche, in my opinion, where Jessica Drew had filled and could have filled, but they replaced it with another character that became more popular, and that's where I'm a little kind of bent out of shape. Although again, thank you, Kelly Thompson. I love you for the role you have Jessica play in Carol's comic. Thank you. It is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Jessica Jones even has that kind of attitude, you could argue, that Jessica Drew does. But anyway,
they're,
look,
they're different enough because
Yeah.
I'll say this because here's the big difference between the two.
Mhm.
Jones is quieter and a little bit more introverted than Jess, and Jess is a little introverted herself, but Jessica is also a trained spy. Jessica Drew is.
Yeah.
So where Jessica Jones can hold herself in a fight, she does not have the martial arts training that and she's a very good private investigator, but she does not have the training that Jessica Drew does.
Yeah.
There are things that Jessica Drew can do that Jessica Jones cannot do. And it's actually implied in the second, in a more recent, within the last like 5 years run that Bendis did with Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
And it seems a little implied that Jessica Jones does not like Jessica Drew all that much.
Oh.
So
okay.
there's, Jessica fucking Spider-Woman, Jessica fucking Drew. She does not like Jessica Drew very much.
I've got to say, I mean,
so-
you did shout out Kelly Thompson. There is a really awesome little mini arc by Kelly Thompson. I think it's Jessica Jones. I think it's called Blind Spot. It
Yes,
was
very good.
Yeah, originally released as digital only, but they've since made it a trade. It's got Elsa Bloodstone in there too, of course.
So here's the thing. So when Brian Michael Bendis left Marvel to go to DC, he actually was like, he actually handpicked Kelly Thompson to take over Jessica Jones because he didn't want anyone else to write her while he was there.
Right.
But then since he was leaving, he goes, Kelly writes Jessica Jones. And she did. And she wrote an excellent Jessica Jones.
She did a great, yeah. It was
Kelly's a phenomenal. I love Kelly Thompson. She's a phenomenal writer.
Oh, she's great. We've got to find an excuse to have her on the show. I don't care how.
Kelly Thompson, please come on our show. We would love to talk to you about Jessica.
Yes.
Please. Anyway,
speaking
we have
of which,
our last page. We got way off on a tangent.
That was cool though. I like it. But yes, the last page. Look, one of the greatest splash pages I think of the series.
I do. I love this page. This is very nice.
Just very simple. Just Jess kind of flying with the sun at the back, through the city, and it's kind of the new beginning,
Yeah.
So she's just getting started, as she says. So, so off we go. That's the end of the origin, the retelling, the kind of modernized version of it. Seren, out of, what are we going to say? Out of super soldiers, how many? What would you give this last issue?
I'd give it 4. I'd give it 4. 4.5 maybe.
4.5? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That 4.5 Athena project soldiers.
Bones out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5. Yeah, I gave it a 4 as well. It was really enjoyable. I've got to say that. And it's just the distance that we read these issues between. It's hard to I'm trying to compare it with the other previous issues, but very strong. Really enjoyed it. Can I say it doesn't get too Bendis-y in some ways? I know Bendis and Reed both are writing it. So the dialogue was good. It was restrained, I think.
I think Reed probably might have reined Bendis in a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, because we could have had a lot more of those Hydra goons just talking, And I don't need any more of that.
Yeah.
So I think it was really... But the dialogue between Jess and her father and Jonathan... that was gold, and that for me was a big highlight of this. And it was, the action scenes were awesome as well.
Really good, and it's now come to an end. And from here, I can't remember if this series was written shortly after Jessica's reintroduction to the Avengers or before. I think it was after. I think what happened is, he brought Jess back to the Avengers. And everyone went, holy shit, who's this? And then Marvel let him retell Jess's origin story in 5 issues.
Oh, okay.
I think is what happened. Because that's when Jess got really popular, is when he brought her back. And now she's kind of... she's amazing. How can you not love her? Popularity.
I cannot wait to get into New Avengers as well.
Oh, Seren. It's good.
Oh, I just cannot wait. There's so much material. Like it's great, Not obviously not all Jessica centric, but she's in there,
Oh,
And
she's in
kind
there.
of- yeah, she's one of the core
She's-
members. So yeah.
She's got a whole underlying plot throughout the whole series. Like I know, like she's pretty focused at the start, and then it kind of fades out again, and then Secret Invasion comes along, and then holy shit,
Oh my
it
gosh.
explodes. It was real good. It was real good.
I'm just waiting for them to reprint the Secret Invasion Omnibus because I've just got to get it. That that's such a great.
Yeah, I have it all in
advance.
hardcover. Like I got the whole hardcover of it. It's
awesome.
I just
Yeah.
well, just of the Avengers. I didn't get like all of them. I don't have the omnibus, but
But I mean, can't wait for the series as well. So no, I mean, I'm granted. I'm gonna assume that it's going to be obviously slightly different. It will be slightly different, but I just can't wait for it.
no, I'm excited. When does that come out
Scrolls.
again? I am so behind on my Marvel shit.
March, I think March or something.
Okay, so I've got Quantum Mania coming, which the trailer for that looks freaking fabulous. I love Ant-Man.
Yes.
I was not an Ant-Man fan until I saw the movies, which is really why the movies are why I like Marvel anyway. But I just saw that trailer, and that trailer looks badass. And I've seen WandaVision, and I've seen Loki, but I need to see everything else. I need to watch. I'm halfway through Miss Marvel, which has been excellent.
Yes.
I need to watch all the movies. I have not seen Eternals. I have not seen Black Panther, and I know they're all amazing, and I need to do it because Marvel is awesome.
Oh yeah, I
And
haven't watched Wakanda Forever as well. I've got to see that. Far out.
it's apparently excellent. And
it's coming. I think it'll be streaming in about a week. So maybe
oh
I'll just have
well,
to wait
I
for
am
that.
gonna just go on a binge mission on Disney Plus. Like over the next month, I'm just gonna be binging Marvel movies. I'll probably burn myself out, but
Oh, can I also mention as well? I mean, just while we're kind of on it, the latest Secret Invasion series by Ryan North. Seren is very good as well. I mean,
I mean it's Ryan North. I wouldn't expect it to be anything but amazing. I'm mad Jessica's not a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a shame. That is a shame as well. But
Because she's dead. I haven't been reading the comic actually. How's that been going?
Good. I mean, can I just say then there's I think I'll put it in Discord. So we're talking about listeners. We're talking about Spider-Man, the adjectiveless one. It's the end of Spider-Verse. So Spider-Man himself, Seren, met the same fate. So if Peter Parker has been unraveled like Jess, then for me that means that Jess ain't, she ain't dead. She's coming back, same as Spider-Man. So
I mean, I know he's coming back.
I know, but like as in length. But now that Peter Parker has been unraveled and disappeared,
well, what if they have to choose one or the other? They're going to choose Parker.
Mate, well, maybe, but I don't know. I am optimistic that by the end of this arc, the end of Spider-Verse, everyone's going to come back. So, yeah, because why wouldn't you? Unless, of course, as you say, you can only pick one, in which case I'm wrong. But yeah, so for me, that was a bit reassuring that Peter Parker bit the dust. As funny as that sounds. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, I still like the original Spider-Verse story. The end of Spider-Verse is okay. These wasps and all that. I don't know. I'm not hating it. It's not.
How's your Moon Knight been?
Moon Knight's good. Oh yeah, going well. Jed's so it seems like it's been approved for like at least issue 24, and then
awesome.
touch wood going beyond that. So it's the longest. It's close to being. Oh, it is the longest running since 2006. So
nice.
Yeah, so that's all positive. It's still getting good sales. Yeah, it's bubbling along. Nothing major's happened. I think Khonshu, they're looking to break Khonshu out of prison. So I'm not sure if you read Age of Khonshu from the Avengers, but he had been imprisoned. He's on Asgard somewhere. Yeah,
I have not read it because I don't read anything out of my superhero ladies, so I'm behind.
Yeah, so he's kind of like he's imprisoned, but it sounds like Moon Knight's going to go get him soon. So
excellent. Cool.
Yeah. Well, good.
Maybe he'll take Tiger with him because she's badass and she should.
Oh, she's been in there. Yeah.
I know she has.
It's fantastic. She's been really good. Yeah, a good foil to him. I hope. I mean, as long as Jed's on writing, Tigra, I'm sure will pop up every now and again. So that's good. Having her as kind of like a semi-regular. I like that.
Yeah. Very good.
So Spider Babies, that kind of wraps us for this episode. No, at least I think no feedback, Seren. Let's just say that if there is, then apologies. We'll get to it.
It's been a long time since we've talked, guys. So we went off topic more than normal. Apologies.
No, that's all right. Yes, hope you've enjoyed that extra bits, those extra bits. As mentioned, a huge thank you to all our Spider patrons as well. A big shout out to the likes of to Miriam, Rustin, Eric, and Jess. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, we really do appreciate it. One moment, if you just hang with me here, Seren, just for a bit.
I'm hanging.
I have a feeling. We did get another Spider patron.
Did we?
Yeah. So that's why I just wanted to not. Yes, I would like to welcome our latest Spider patron, Rick Cook. So.
I know Rick.
Do you know Rick? Okay.
I do. I'm not gonna call him out on who his Twitter is because I don't know if he wants me to. But I know Rick has been a longtime listener and Spider-Woman fan, and I have been friends with Rick for years. And I'm glad to hear that they have jumped on the Patreon train. So
yes. Oh, thank you so much, Rick.
Thank you, Rick, for your support. I'm excited.
Yes.
Actually, I think you probably told me that like 2 weeks ago, and I completely forgot.
Okay.
I'm a terrible friend. I'm a terrible friend, you guys. Oh, no. Terrible.
But yeah, Rick, hope you enjoy all the back catalogue of some of the things that we have. Also as well, things coming up. Hopefully Sharon and I can produce, a few bonus episodes here and there throughout the year. We'll let you know. But thank you so much for showing support. It's always great, and it helps us with the show.
And until next time.
Oh, Sharon, before we go, next episode.
Oh shit, what is next episode? We are on Classic Spider-Woman issue number 3.
Mm-hmm.
It is number 3. Okay, good. I couldn't remember.
Yes. The peril of Brothers Grimm, Saren. How cool is that?
That's really cool. We get the Brothers Grimm in there. Oh, they're fun. They are fun. Yes, and just quickly though, we are part of the collective as well. A lot of great shows there. Inner Demons, Ghost Rider Podcast, Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is. And you can catch us also, drop us a line, spiderwomanpod@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are now on YouTube, so you can just youtube.com/spiderwomanpod as well. So you can catch a video version of this podcast if you want to have a look at the comic as we discuss it. So. And I actually did get us over on Hive, but I have not been over on Hive. We are Spider-Woman Daily over on Hive as well.
Awesome. So,
yes. Yeah.
Lovely.
We are over there. I haven't posted anything, but we are over there. If you're over there,
we are over there.
We'll follow, and I will try and post more things there more frequently. Because actually, I very much like Hive. It's very nice. I like it. It needs some tweaking, but it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I should get on that as well. Yeah, it does look good as well. Yeah, so no, definitely go check it out on Hives as well. And of course, we have a Discord channel, Discord server. There's a lot of fun chats to be had there. If you have any problems finding it, just drop us a line as well.
All right. I think that's everything now.
That's everything now.
All right. So until next time.
To know her is to fear her. Catch you later.
If you'd like to contact us with your thoughts on Spider-Woman and her amazing series, you can drop us a line at spiderwomanpod@gmail.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Spider-Woman Pod or To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast. Catch us on Twitter at Spider-Woman Daily or on Discord, Tumblr, and Podchaser. Look for all our links to our social platforms in the show notes.
We are also proud members of The Collective, a supergroup of podcasters dedicated to covering all the characters and news in comics and beyond. Search for #TheCollectiveNet on Twitter to see the latest on all the shows, or click on the link provided in our episodes to give you a list of who's part of The Collective. Finally, please consider giving us a rating on either Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Whether it be to sing your praises or give us pointers on how to improve the show, any ratings will help cast our web further and potentially reach out to more spider babies out there.
Thank you so much for listening to our show. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned for our next upcoming episode. But until then, remember, to know her is to fear her.
Spider-Woman and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Material used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only, under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information, or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.
Hello world, it's time to open the green door and enter the strongest podcast there is, Gamma Charge.
Twice a month, Russell and I dive into the history of the Incredible Hulk in comics, film, TV, games, and more.
That's right, Justin, and we rate and review all the Jade Giants media, good and not so good, with a smash or a gamma clap. And we put on the rant pants when we just can't take it.
And join us on Patreon to get exclusive bonus podcasts, prizes, and more at patreon.com/Gamma Charge Hulk Podcast.
We will see you real soon, Gamma Beasts. Stay green.
Gamma Charge.
The strongest podcast there is.